Yes, Dee Dee, of course this is your horse. This is the horse that you've had at my house in training.
I would like to know how come charges haven't been brought up.
This is your horse. I fed the horse for 6 months on a daily basis.
She's convinced me that it's not the same horse.
Thank you, please, because I don't really want this horse.
My baby,
That's completely unreasonable.
If you want to fight, I can get you boxing gloves, but we're not here for that. My first case ever with worms.
Come here, Sophie. Get him, Rusty.
Can I say something?
No. If she hadn't had an oral agreement, how do you do? You bought a horse from the defendant?
Correct.
And then you boarded the horse with him?
No. The horse has never been boarded.
How did it get into his possession?
It's not in his possession.
Never has been in his possession?
Well, yes, it was back in his possession in, February and March through April 9th, as a matter of fact.
All right. And then you got the horse back?
I believe so, but because I was not at the house when the horse was delivered, I have two horses, and this horse and my other horse, but the other horse you cannot mistake or anything, were delivered back to my house in Acton at the time where I was living with my, at that time, boyfriend.
Well, you're claiming that the horse that was delivered to you was not your horse.
No, I'm claiming that the horse that I purchased from this gentleman is not the horse because I'm being told.
Did you is this the horse you purchased from the defendant?
Supposedly, yes, but no.
Okay. You purchased the horse from the defendant.
Right. I purchased this horse from a horse by the name of Les2 Olina. Here's my American Quarter Horse Association
You have a
registration.
picture of the horse that you purchased?
Here's a copy of the check. Yes, I do, as a matter of fact.
When was the picture taken?
The picture was taken, I believe it was last July, in 1997, shortly after I had purchased him, and at the trainer's house in the trainer's yard.
And when did the defendant take possession of the horse for a short period of time?
February through April of this year. Here's a picture of his face also.
Well, pictures are so dark you can't tell what the horse looks like.
Oh, I'm not a photographer.
Well, I'm not trying to criticize your photography. It's just that when you give me something and I'm trying to make a determination based upon the picture and I can't see the picture, I have to tell you that. What evidence do you have that the horse that came back to you, and that's this horse, I take it, is not the one that you bought from him in July of '97?
Here's my letter from the American Quarter Horse Association stating that the DNA, the horse that I purchased cannot possibly be this horse because the DNA does not match. And here's a letter from my veterinarian stating that he did pull the DNA sample. Here's a pre-purchase exam from the same vet. Here's the invoice for the pre-purchase exam from the same vet. Here's also another vet's basic.
Have you seen these, sir?
Yeah.
You have anything to say about them?
I can tell you start to finish what happened.
Go ahead.
Me and my partner, Wayne Stevens, we bought the horse that she bought from us in Oklahoma. And I took him to a lady's house, which she was taking lessons from the lady. She bought the horse from a broker. And I got the money. I'm not saying that I didn't get all of it, though. And so several months later, she moved down the street from my business. And it was
the plaintiff did?
Yes, and it was when we were having all the heavy rains last springtime. And her place flooded out, and she come and asked if she could board both of her horses at my place until her pens dried out. I said, no problem. And she boarded the horses at my place for, I don't know, about 2 months. And her pens dried out. Took the horses home, and I don't know, about 3 weeks ago, she come and started all this that her horse had been switched. It's not the horse that she bought from me. And I said, well, there's nothing. I mean, you got to go to the authorities. And she said, well, I did, and they laughed at me. And I said, well, I don't know what you're coming to me for. And she said, well, I need somebody to help me find my horse. And I said, well, I don't know what you want me to do.
Is this the horse you sold her?
No. No.
It's not.
No. And so the DNA report couldn't be, I mean, the DNA report is probably from this horse, but this is not the horse that she bought on July 14th. So it's not going to match. And I mean, you can
How do you know it's not the horse she bought?
Just doesn't look, well, like I said, I haven't seen it in 2 years. So I couldn't say 100% that it's not. But from what she's told me, this is the first time I've seen the horse since it left my place in April. From what she told me, she's convinced me that it's not the same horse. She said that...
Well, did you switch the horses?
No, I didn't switch the horses.
Well, if it's not the horse you sold her, where is that horse that you sold her?
It was the horse that I sold her when I took it to her house in April. Now, if they were switched in April, why did she come 3 weeks ago and claim that her horse has been switched?
That's a good question.
Well, I have a better one because I don't...
No.
Oh.
Answer that one first.
Okay, go ahead. What was the question again?
Ask her
Why
again.
has it taken so long? I don't know exactly how many months from April till 3 weeks ago, but why has it taken that long for you to come and say that the horses have been switched? And I asked her when
wait.
Okay.
You asked the question. Now let's get her answer.
I didn't wait until just 3 weeks ago, as a matter of fact, and if you notice that the letter says that on July 2nd, Dr. Bob Bradley pulled the mane hair. Prior to that, Dr. Bradley came out to my house and I said, Dr. Bradley, I don't know, but I think something's up with my horse. Something seems wrong, not right. I had my vet called the woman who the horse was in training with for 6 months. And Linda Morrissey met me down at the Burbank Equestrian Center on June 23rd and told me, yes, Dee Dee, of course this is your horse. This is the horse that you've had at my house in training. This is the horse that I sold you that you bought from Kevin. This is your horse. I fed the horse for 6 months on a daily basis. I think I'd know the horse.
What did you pay for that other horse?
I paid $3,000 for the other horse. I have more than $3,000 in training, and I have numerous shoeing bills. I have boarding bills.
What was the horse worth? Was it worth any more than $3,000?
Oh, yeah.
You mean you could sell it on the market for more than $3,000?
Oh, certainly, yeah.
How much?
Absolutely. I believe you could probably sold my horse for $8,500.
Would anyone pay $8,500 for the horse?
I'd love to find some.
How much,
I buy and sell
what's
horses.
the fair market value?
I buy and sell horses every day.
What's the fair market value of the horse?
I told Linda Morrissey that I wanted $2,500 for the horse when I dropped it off at her house.
What's it worth today?
This horse or the horse?
No, the other one.
The other horse?
If assuming it were around.
In Texas, I give $1,500 for him. I hauled him home and I sold him for $2,500. How come she's suing for her money back if she thinks that I switched her horses? I would like to know how come charges haven't been brought up. And
that's a good question.
If I've switched the horses,
she doesn't bring charges, sir.
Okay.
Would have to be a law enforcement agency.
That's what that. And I told her to go to the authorities if she really thought her horse was switched. And I'd just like to know how come it hasn't.
Well, she can't answer it. I don't think.
Okay.
I know I can't answer it. But let me ask you this question. Ask both of you. Since this is not the horse you sold her, somebody either switched or she got the horse and did something with it. I don't know what.
Exactly.
Okay. But if I were to award her monetary damages, what happens to this horse?
That's what I'd like to know, because it's not really fair that she gets the money and the horse.
Oh, I agree with you there. I agree with you. But I'm trying to find out, what do we do with the horse?
Well, I'd love to take him.
Okay. How do you feel about that?
Well, let me say a couple things first.
You can't have this horse and money.
Thank you, please, because I don't really want this horse. I'd really just like my horse back.
I can't give it to you. I don't have it.
I know, and I'm really sorry that you don't.
What's the witness? What do you know about this, sir?
Just what I've been told. I was with Kevin when we purchased the original horse back.
In Texas?
Yes, back in, I think it was
It was, wasn't it Oklahoma?
Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Oklahoma is where it was at. Back in like February of March of
97?
I believe is when it was. And brought the horse out here. And I do know that we were partners on the horse. We did give the horse to Linda Morrissey to sell. She sold. This is, as far as I know, this is the first time that I've seen this young lady. But Linda Morrissey did sell the horse.
So you're in effect, you're not admitting you switched the horses,
Oh, no.
but you're saying this is not the horse you sold her.
From everything that she's told me, I don't believe that it is the same horse. I mean, you can ask her all the stuff that she's went through, different pads, different halters, the way it takes a bath, all different kinds of stuff.
Characteristic traits
Yeah.
of the other horse versus
Exactly.
this horse.
Well, but how unfortunate, though, that if there's a
All right,
problem
we'll
with
take a short recess. I'll come back and give you my decision.
Congenital disorder called OCD.
It's a congenital disease that can affect the hamstrings and the tendons in the legs of the dog.
The main seating come to order. This court is again in session.
Before I give you my decision, the defendant gave me a letter from Linda Morrissey. And there's a statement in here I think you ought to have a chance to talk about. She says, on June 20th of this year, Miss Anderson contacted me by telephone. Miss Anderson stated that her horse, Lester, had been stolen from the stable at which she kept him, and another horse had been left in his place.
That is not true. I never boarded this horse. I never paid a board. He was never at a public stable, ever. The most public of stables that he was ever at belonged to Mr. McCaslin.
Did you tell her that the horse had been stolen from your stable?
I did not tell her that the horse had been stolen from my...
Did you talk to her on the telephone?
Yes, I did.
What did she say and what did you say?
I had told her that, Linda, you know, I don't know what it is, but I don't think this is my horse. Please, will you come to the equestrian... Well, Dee Dee, I'll be at the equestrian center maybe next Tuesday. If you pay me, then I might be able to ride your horse, because otherwise I won't have time, because I'll have to get my paperwork in order for small claims court. I said, okay, Linda, no problem. I met her at the equestrian center. She rode the horse in the warm-up arena.
Why do you think she wrote this letter?
I know the woman does not personally care for me, and that's just...
I asked her on several occasions, the plaintiff,
plaintiff.
if she thought that I personally switched her horses. And she told me several times that she did not think that I did it.
I don't know who did it. I don't think that Kevin McCaslin would do such a thing, but do I know who did do it? I have no idea, Your Honor. The only thing that I know is that when the trainer turned around and on June 23rd told me that, of course, this is your horse, Dee Dee. This is the same horse that you've had in training at my house and everything. I know that I was supposed to go along.
Okay, Ms. Anderson, I think you've answered the question, and what you just said is the crux of the case. What you just said was the crux of the case. You have the burden of proving by a preponderance of the evidence that he switched the horses. And what you're looking quizzically at me?
Sorry.
Isn't that what you're saying? He switched the horses in your complaint? That's your whole basis, is that he did it. Otherwise, why are you here?
He's the man I bought the horse from him because everybody told me that this is the horse that I bought.
Ma'am, just because you bought it from him doesn't mean he switched horses.
I realize that.
And
but
when you
because-
just told, now just a minute, when you just told me, I don't know who did it, that's the crux of the case. No, that's enough. That's enough. There comes a time, certain things happen, key phrases, key statements. First of all, neither you nor the defendant seem to me the kind of people that are going to lie. I don't think either one of you are lying. Each of you may have a different interpretation of the facts. You may each perceive something differently. I don't think either one of you are lying. And the proof of the pudding is what you just told me, that you don't know who did it. And if you don't know who did it and you can't prove who did it, then he's not liable. If I disregard completely what she said, and it's just a letter, it's not even an affidavit, so I don't have to give it too much weight. Completely disregard that. Your own statement that you don't know who did it shows me that you have not proven by a preponderance of the evidence that he switched the horses. That is the final thing. Judgment is for the defendant.
Everything she's been saying is that her horse has been switched. And I mean, now she comes to court and says that she's claiming that it is the same horse. So it's
That's what everybody has been telling me all
two
along.
different
That's what all of these
directions.
professional people in this horse industry have been saying to me.
I've heard of horses being stolen, but never switched.
Right, so why would they steal my horse and leave me another one?
I have no idea. I
Well,
told
that's
you
what
that
I've been
several
saying.
times.
Well, but exactly. So then how come my horse and my papers don't match? If they stole my horse,
I don't
how
have
come
any
the horse
idea.
and the paper? Well,
That was just what your burden of proof was, and Judge Wapner said that was your burden of proof. You couldn't prove it.
Surgery totaled $1,444.44.
But you know, it's just all verbal. We just bring in a basket full of puppies and he does a heart check on them.
We are suing for the congenital and hereditary disorder OCD.
The Animal Court is now in session. The Honorable Joseph A. Wapner, Judge presiding.
I know you've all been sworn. I've read your complaint. You sold a dog to the defendants?
No, the defendant sold a dog to me.
They sold it to you?
Yes.
Okay. You're correct.
Thank you.
And you claim the dog was defective in some way?
Yes.
Okay. And how much did you pay for it?
$400. Paid by cash.
You have a receipt? I mean, did you get a receipt?
Their receipt is on their, it's on
Yes, we
their
have a
booklet.
Is this the dog that's on the...
This is the father.
This is the father and this is the mother.
Oh, I see. Okay. And you claim that the dog had a defect of some kind?
Yes, I do.
What was the defect?
He has a congenital disorder called OCD. and
OCD?
Yes.
When did you find that out?
He had the surgery on December 10th of '97. So prior to that, a month or so.
And I was never contacted.
That was my next question.
Sorry.
Did you ever contact the defendants to inform them of this?
Yeah, we sent letters to the defendant.
Did you receive a letter?
We never received any letters at all. The
Yep.
first thing that we received from them at all was when we got this handed to us at our front door by being served. Now, we will admit that there was probably
When were you served, ma'am?
on, we believe it was the 7th. We didn't write the date
7th
down.
of what?
Of
Last
August.
month, right?
Did you send the letter certified or registered?
Certified.
You have a receipt?
Yes, we do.
Your Honor, we actually have the certified letter that was returned to us that they did not accept.
That we didn't receive.
There were 2 notices.
Let me see what the notice is. What is your capacity here, ma'am? You seem
I am John's mother, and it's also Exhibit C14 and 15.
She handled all the contacting of the defendant's letters and whatnot.
You know, I haven't spoken to
Phone
John
call.
even one time since any of this happened. The problem is our mail lady always delivers our mail to 6515. This has happened endlessly. We believe that's probably what took place in this case, which I expressed to his mother at the time.
what time?
When I got this, I called her immediately to find
Oh.
out what was going on.
At
Did
the
she
same
tell you-
time, Your Honor, that she told me she'd mail a check immediately. It was the same conversation.
Did you said you had the dog had surgery?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have a vet report?
Yes, I
Yes.
do.
Thank you.
And how much did it cost you to have the surgery and the vet bills?
The surgery totaled $1,444.44, and that's including the medication and whatnot.
What was the condition of the dog when you sold it?
It was in fine condition. All of our puppies were
Had you-
vet checked 2 times by our vet.
Do you have copies of any vet reports?
No, you know, it's just all verbal. We just bring in a basket full of puppies and he does a heart check on them, checks their bones over, rubs every inch of them, makes sure that there's no growths or
Do you know what
takes their temperature.
OCD is?
It's a congenital disease that can affect the hamstrings and the tendons in the legs of the dog.
Young lady back there, what have you got to tell me?
Basically, that I was there to witness that they understood the contract, that
The guarantee wasn't for cash. but for a replacement puppy, and that they purchased the dog. I have where he filled it out, and the date is the 17th, not the 26th of July of that year.
Yes.
In our guarantee, it states they have a 26-month guarantee against any genetic disorder, and we don't have a problem with that, but it's replacement puppy.
Your Honor, may I interrupt? On the document I have handed you, the contract we have signed refers to if the dog within 26 months comes down with hip dysplasia or an eye disease. It's
And if you
listed
read-
on there that, excuse me, within the 26 months, if they get hip dysplasia or the eye disease, they will do a dog exchange. We are not here suing for hip dysplasia or the eye disease. We are suing for the congenital and hereditary disorder, OCD.
And if you'll read right below that where I wrote in other, it says terms, it also says that any genetic disorder that hinders a normal life to the discretion of the breeder, which is me.
Matt, this is not signed.
No, that's just a blank one. He has,
We handed
That
it
is
to
a
you.
that is a different one from
he
what
has
they gave
it right
to
there
us.
on their
Let me
very
see.
far right.
Of which we never signed. And she says he filled out the paperwork.
You don't
John wasn't
sign
even
any-
there to
You
Wait,
don't
wait,
sign
wait,
any
wait,
guarantee.
wait, one at a time.
You don't sign any guarantee that you take home. If you purchase a television set,
As a-
you take home the guarantee and you read it at home.
Under general warranty law, purchase was made by the plaintiff. A dog has to be fit for the purpose for which it was intended. The dog has been taken to, or was taken to a vet. The vet examined the dog. The dog had a genetic defect. Timely notice was given to the defendants. Unfortunately, they didn't receive the notice, but you can't fault the plaintiff for that. They attempted to. They have the correct address and everything else. If the post office made a mistake, that's unfortunate, but for whatever the reason, the letters returned, but they did attempt to give timely notice. Therefore, they are entitled to cure the defect of the dog or to ask for a new dog. They wanted to save the dog, and they're therefore entitled to what it cost them to have the surgery done and the defect cured. Judgment is for plaintiff for $11,580 is what they sued for.
The other dogs were fine in the litter. We called everybody when we first heard about this and asked them if they'd had any problems, and they hadn't had any problems at all.
I know my dog is affected. It is hereditary, so all I know is hereditary is passed on through the breed line. So it may be very well that these dogs, other dogs do have it as well.
The issue is you fix the dog, you return the papers, and then you get a replacement puppy. If you don't want the puppy, we sell the puppy and you get the money. That was always our policy, always has been our policy.
You develop a bond with that dog. It becomes just like a child. My son, here's my son. I'd do anything for the dog. The money's not important. It's just making him well.